And hello to all my Sagittarius friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and I'm going to be doing your free psychic tarot reading for August of 2021. Now, they have dialed up a Celtic cross spread. It is a large spread, a 10-card spread is what it starts out with. We're going to expand it a little bit on there based on what cards come out. It really talks about one topic the most. It centers on that, but it can veer off a little bit and go off on little tangents here and there. It's also really good for general readings because it captures the window of August. It does go a little bit in the past, a little bit in the future, but usually it's more kind of based on the present. So we're going to get into that. I'm going to bring you in right now. I have the cards shuffled already. I do that ahead of time to save time. What I'm going to do now is bring you in so you can watch. Go ahead and hit that like button and build up the energy in here. I will say, Sagittarius, you guys did pretty good last month with the likes. Not the best, but not the worst. Kind of middle of the pack. So let's see if we can get you over the hump this month. Go ahead and hit that like. So what I'm doing now are my ritual cuts. Cuts the decks into 3 different pieces, puts them back together in a separate order, and that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. And then they're ready to run. And it's the same procedure that I use, almost went flying there. Same procedure that I use for my private readings as well. And pretty much all the work that I do with tarot. So here's your Celtic cross. This is you and all that you are. This is what crosses you. This is what's behind you. This is what's in front of you. This is what's above you, something you're aware of. This is what's below you, something you're not aware of. And now running up the sides, let me make sure this is in view first. The Celtic cross is a tall spread, so it's really hard to kind of get it all in camera. So I have to kind of do it in pieces. So there's the cross. There's our cross. And now running up the sides, we have 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to show you these. I'll get them better on the camera in just a moment. Let me see what other cards I need for my angel cards here, my oracle cards. Quite a bit, actually. You guys pulled a lot of major arcana cards. Start here, here, that stays, this goes here, and here. Okay, so let me show you the cross first, now that I've expanded the cross. It's going to be hard to show it all, but it's the best I can do in a tall spread. Kind of. There's that. Okay, so this is going to be number 10. For those of you who know what the Celtic cross is and what I'm doing, this is going to be number 10. I'm going to get it out of the way to make room. This is going to be number 9 here, 3 of Wands. Number 8, 6 of Cups. And number 7. Page of Wands. All right, so now I'm going to zoom out and let's decipher it. Let's get to work, Sagittarius. We're also going to conclude the reading with a couple oracle cards. They wanted that extra for you guys. So that basically tells me that it's a reading that's going to be very driven on advice. So it's going to be less about telling you things about the future and more so of how to deal with things that are coming into your future, or at least for your August, since that's what we're working on. Okay, the first thing that they show is a lot of you Sagittariuses in August are learning from your lessons in life. They're saying you're doing a good job of that. So basically, you don't have to relearn them once you learn them well the first time. It's just like completing a college course or something similar to that. It's like you don't have to take the same course over and over after you've already kind of mastered it or graduated from it. It's the first thing they show. So this month in August is going to be a lot of putting to use lessons that you have learned throughout your life and your experiences being used quite a bit. So just remember that and relay back to it. Anytime you kind of get in a bind in August, think back to previous and your past and things that you have learned that are similar to the situation that you're dealing with. That's where you're going to find a lot of the answers to it. What crosses you, they say, they brought up the card of patience. So that tells me that in August, patience is going to be required of you. Almost dropped that too. Got things jumping all over the place here, Sagittarius. I kick the wire all the time. So anyway, back to patience. So patience is besides being a virtue, it is a necessity for your August. It's going to be required. That's why it comes up. It does say that you actually do a pretty good job with that. So it's really a continuance. We want to make sure that you continue on that path of, just being patient when the times get, a little tough or a little funky. Just hang in there and be patient. It's going to pass. So that's your present position and what crosses you. Looking at your recent past, they show that a lot of you have been dealing with some kind of a cycle. It comes up as round and round, as well as the Emperor inverted. It's saying for a lot of you, you're not owning something, you're not taking enough authority. They really want you to kind of step up in a way and kind of master something. The Emperor card, it means so many different things, and it's kind of vague in the context of the position it's in the past position. So I don't know exactly where to attach it to. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. So the basic, scattershot theme for it is that they want you to step up and take authority with something that you've been slacking on, okay? So really kind of picking up the slack, not procrastinating, being the boss of something, taking charge, leadership, all that kind of stuff. It's coming in blocked in your recent past. So they want to see you come out of that and move forward into the future with a more authoritative, masterful state. And with round and round coming up, they're saying that this is a cycle. You've been repeating a cycle, so that's why it goes back to the beginning. So important to learn from your lessons, and they're going to come into play. It's going to come into play in your August. It's a very key moment, a very key factor. That's your recent past. As we move into the future position, they have a love message that's coming in blocked. It's it could either be the end of this month. This is a not so positive love message. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but usually this is a love message that kind of stings a little bit. And I have to broaden the category of love, because love is just not like your lover, or it could spread out to a loved one, family, friends, pretty much anybody that you care about and love can come up for that. So there's an important message regarding one of those people in your life toward the end of the month. I would say at least beyond the 15th, probably closer to the 20s. 20s feel about right. So there's a message coming in for that. And what can these messages be? It really varies. It's basically just not pleasant news is what it's saying in regard. So it's an emotional attachment for you. News coming in that affects your emotions. It kind of stings a little bit, okay? And the reason that kind of stuff comes up in tarot is not to scare you or to make you feel bad or any kind of negative anything. It's really just to kind of pad the fall. It's to let you know to expect it, so when it comes, it maybe is not as stingy, or it doesn't hurt as bad as it would. And when it comes, hopefully it's more of the minor thing. I mean, this is a general reading, so we have a lot of Sagittarius energy here. So it's going to be a different level of sting is what they're saying for each of you. And, hopefully some of you can avoid it altogether. It being a general reading, it's not going to apply to everybody the same way. And I guess it's a good time to remind you that this is a general reading. If you're looking for messages that are 100% personalized for yourself, you would need a personal reading, a private reading. For that, I do offer those on my website, scottsagent.com. So that's your past, that is your recent future. And then as we move into the above position, this is telling me something to tell you that you're already aware of. So I'm really not telling you anything new. It's really just kind of more validating, or giving you a little snip of something here. They talk about the Empress card. So this is an extremely feminine energy card. This can be represented in the divine feminine. It can also be birth and conception and pretty much all things female. If you're a male listening to this reading, this doesn't mean anything like bad just because it's talking about feminine and you're, say, masculine. It's just saying that it may be a month to be a little softer energy. And other things can come up for feminine type of activities too, such as gardening would be a feminine type thing, or any kind of hobbies or activities that are just a little softer and less rugged. It can also be a good time for birthing something, just like how I talk about physical birth with the Empress, with the feminine divine. It could also be a very good time to birth something new, like a business or an enterprise or entrepreneurship. Something like that can come up. And a lot of you are doing that. This is in the above position. It's basically not telling you anything new. So this is stuff you already know. So when I say it, you're going to know right away if I'm, speculating correctly or not. But that's the energy of what they're talking about, so that you can put the context into your own life as you see fit. We have message in a bottle coming with it. So basically you're being guided in this area, whatever this new push that you're doing is, you're being guided. They're trying to get the messages through to you. That's what happens when message in a bottle comes in. It's usually guidance from spirit world. It's usually not physical world. Now it could be. You could be being guided by, somebody looking over your shoulder here, or helping you with a business here, or something like that. But it's usually from beyond. So I would just keep an open mind, pay attention to your dreams very much in August, and look for the signs, because that's the way that they try to communicate with you. For a lot of you, this is songs popping in your head that you didn't hear before, that are just occurring to you for no reason. Pay attention to the lyrics. There's messages in there. It's a lot easier for them to communicate energetically doing something like that, putting an idea in your head. Now, as we move into the bottom position of the Celtic cross, this is one that always interests me, because now I'm telling you something you don't know and you're not aware of. And what they're saying is that something is broken in August. Something is just not magical. We don't know what it is yet. It is and that's probably why it's coming in blocked. But there is a silver lining to this, because what happens on the other side of this is a brand new life. It's really like the cocoon. The caterpillar making the cocoon, getting ready to turn into a butterfly and morph into something better and brighter. They show you on a pedestal here. So the energy of the magician inverted, that's the card, means broken to me. It means not magical. And there may be parts of your August, not the whole month, but there may be parts that feel that way to you. And remember that I said that when they occur. That's what this is all about. So just remember that when that happens, when that hardship or, whatever occurs to you in August, persevere, get through it. Know that on the other side of this is going to shape you. This is going to be a big deal for how you come out of it. And, how you choose to deal with it is obviously a huge thing too. That's just a general, fundamental thing about life in general. As we move into your advice column, they say, kind of be careful of toxic stuff, especially in the workplace. A lot of you are possibly surrounded by, I'm not even at the environment place yet, but I think it's connected for you. For a lot of you, Sagittarius, this is connected. They're saying be careful of messages specifically in the workplace, or news coming through the workplace. Be a little cautious with your work corner. And if you happen to be a retired Sagittarius that's viewing this, you still have a work corner. It doesn't go away because you become retired. So be cautious toward anything, what you do with your time that you used to put into work, with your retirement or your retirement funds and strategy and all that stuff. So basically finding the context, right? So be very careful about toxic stuff, being lured, or how they show the angel and the devil on the shoulder type thing. The devil's going to be whispering in your ear a lot in August. You're going to be tempted. You're going to have things that glitter like they're gold that are really not. So just be careful and be very not just cautious, but just kind of be very observant. Be very observant to people's motives and why they're telling you what they're telling you and why they're acting the way that they are, especially in work, especially in the work corner. We can fan that out and say it for everything, like generally, but since it's a wands, I feel it's triggered most for a lot of you Sagittariuses in the workplace. As we move into the environment for you guys, they're showing basically they want you to be very emotionally mature. Immaturity comes up, so I think that they're telling me that you're surrounded by a lot of immaturity. This could go back to the workplace, or this could just be at home. You could just be surrounded by a lot of kids, or be surrounded by a lot of immature energy. And they're asking you to kind of emotionally step up a little bit in August. Be the bigger person, be the better man or the better woman. And, don't stoop to other people's levels, I guess is basically what they're saying. Because the environment is a little rugged. Rugged's not the right word. Just a little bit off. A little bit maybe negative. Negative's probably the best way to put it. As we move into hopes and fears, this is obviously a hope, not a fear. Well, hopefully. It's a very positive card, positive look. It means a couple different things. It can mean a long distance move. That's usually the more rare version. It's not going to apply to very many of you Sagittariuses, but it does come up. Some of you may be hoping to move long distance, and this is just, long distance is a broad term. So let's just say outside of, a local move would usually be more like your city or your county or neighboring county, and then long distance move would be something beyond that. So long distance move does come up for hopes. So it may be something that you're considering. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily there to pull the trigger on it now, but it's something that some of you are considering. But like I said, that's the more rare definition. The more common definition of this card is that you're moving into a new chapter in life, and that's your hope, is that you're going to be moving in a new direction. You're at the edge of your old chapter, and you're looking out into your new chapter, and you're just waiting for it to arrive. And a lot of times it's not here yet, but you're ready for it, and you're feeling it, and you just want it to get there. That's what they talk about for your hopes. So that's a good hope. There's not a whole lot for me to say about that. It's a good thing. Just don't be too stuck on waiting for something to happen. Just make sure that you take charge of what's going on in your life, and don't do too much waiting around. Be a little bit proactive, I guess is what I'm saying. And then final outcome, they do have the Lovers card blocked. It can be blocked for a multitude of different reasons. If you're in a relationship, the likelihood is that there is going to be some turbulence in August in the relationship. I don't view it as like a terrible thing. I view it more as just differences. People are different. I have the Chaos and Conflict card. It is the card where they show literally like a zebra with giraffe patterns on it, and they show a giraffe with zebra stripes on it. So it's basically saying that two very different people here are trying to, come together for ideas. And the Lovers card doesn't only apply to your lover. It's the easiest way to attach it that way, but it may not be. You may be in this kind of situation, this strife with, say a sibling. That would also be, somebody that you love. So that can also be attached that way. So it's basically two people, and it may not even be you. It may be two other people that you're witnessing, and that could also be why it's coming in blocked, because it's not directly you. But anyway, there is some kind of chaos between two people. That is how the month wraps up, so it's probably coming in toward the later end of the month. And while we talk about the later end of the month, I should bring up the moon cycles. The moon cycles are very important to follow as far as implementing things in your life. You can do so very beneficially by doing so. We have the new moon on August the 8th. That's the best time to bring something new into your life and manifest it in. We had the Empress card. A lot of you that are working on something new, or that feminine energy that you're putting out there. The beginning of the month, beginning of August, best time to do that. It doesn't have to be on the 8th. Any time toward the beginning of the month is opportune, using that lunar energy. Now, the full moon energy, August 22nd, that's the best time to get something out of your life that doesn't do you justice anymore, you don't want anymore. Could be people, physical belongings, emotional baggage, habits, anything like that just it's not you anymore. Get it out by the end of the month. Perfect time to do that, 22nd and beyond. And even the couple days before that, you're much more into the full moon energy by then. So anyway, I put together a moon cycles kind of a cheat sheet that I'm giving away right now, absolutely free. All you have to do is sign up for the newsletter. It's on the website, scottsagent.com. At the bottom, you put in like your first name and your email address. I think that's it. And I send you back the moon cycle cheat sheet. And it's not just good for August, it's good through the end of the year. It shows you all the different full moons and new moons and the best ways to implement positive change into your life. So very good stuff there. Take advantage of that. It is a very good reference tool. So that is our Celtic cross right there. I did say I'm going to pull a couple more oracle cards for extra advice and see what they have for that. They have two different things. I'm going to talk about them separately. I do feel like they may connect though, so just keep that in mind too. The first thing they talk about is tick-tock, so timing. Timing is a huge deal for you this month. Keep that in mind. If things flow, that means the timing is good. If they are resistant, changes are just not flowing good. It's you're having all kinds of problems with this and then this. It's the timing. The timing's not right. So wait on things like that. So pay attention to the flow, and that comes with timing. Tick-tock, the clock. Second thing I have for you from the Oracle is time to go. For a lot of you, it is time to move on from something or someone. This is your validation if you've been waiting for this. This is your message. It is time to go. Anything that is unhealthy, or like I said, by the end of the month, that full moon energy, time to go. Anything that is just not doing you well anymore. The only thing that I can look at from the spread perspective is when we talked about the recent past and you not taking authority over some level of your life. This could tie back to something like that. It's time to go. It's time to move on from it. It's time to put it behind you so that you can move forward in a positive direction and you don't have to deal with it anymore, really. So that is going to conclude our reading, your whole Celtic cross, the 2 angel cards, the oracle cards, and that's going to wrap us up for August. I do want to remind you to subscribe. I do these videos every single month, so subscribing, make sure that you see those, and hit the like button if you have not already, and I will see you guys in September.